Hi guys, Zeus here, and today I'll introduce you to the 4th gen Poké Radar chaining method. In the first part of the video, I will be giving you a sort of guide on how to use the Poké Radar and also some useful tips based on my own experience, while in the second part of the video I'll show you a clip of me using the Poké Radar. If you follow me on Instagram, you probably already know that back in the day when I started shiny hunting, I used to chain a lot. But even if at the moment I'm only doing full odds and I'm no more into Poké Radar, I still think that's a pretty cool and skilled method. First of all, in 4th gen, the Poké Radar is an exclusive key item of Diamond, Pearl and Platinum that you receive from Professor Oak in the Rowan's lab after having seen all the Sinnoh's Pokémons. With it, you are able to find Pokémons from other regions that you would normally find, and also by chaining, Poké Radar allows you to increase the probability of finding a shiny Pokémon that normally would be of 1 in 8192. These items need 50 steps to be charged, and when you activate it, you'll see that some grass patches are shaking, and by running into them, you will encounter Pokémons. There are 3 types of patches. The normal one, the leaves patch, in which sometimes you can find rare Pokémon, and of course the shine patch, that guarantees a shiny. Chaining is a long and tedious process that consists on joining patches and encountering the same Pokémon multiple times, and you have to be very patient to succeed in it. Going on with the chain, as far as you go, you increase the probability of finding a shiny patch. The goal of this method is reaching a chain of 40, that got an odds of 1 in 200. But even if you go on with the chain, after having done 40 encounters, you are not gonna increase the probability more than 1 in 200. So when you reach a chain of 40, you just have to run around refreshing the radar without running into any other patches until you find a shiny patch. If you are lucky, a shiny patch can also appear before having reached a chain of 40, but that's rare. Of course, you need the Poké Radar and the Pokétch app named Train Counter app, that is the app number 20 given from Professor Oak in Ballpark after having joined the Hall of Fame. This app tracks down the number of the chain you are at and also remembers the top 3 of your longest chains. Another pretty cool aspect is that if you break your chain, you will know that right the moment you walk into the patch, before even seeing the Pokémon. Because the chain counter of your round that was in the empty space right above the history of your longest hunt will quickly disappear. I still suggest you to see the Pokémon you are encountering, even if it broke your chain, because it still has 1 in 8192 of being a shiny. And the same is for Pokémon you are encountering in the patches, that even if their patch wasn't a shiny one, can still contain an 8192 shiny Pokémon. Then you need a lot of repels. I recommend you super repels because of their good value for money, and I also suggest you to always bring at least 200 of them, because during chaining it is pretty easy to run out of repels. Also, I recommend you to always bring a Pokémon with the ability Synchronize if you are looking for a certain nature, because it will give you a 50% probability that the Pokémon you are encountering got the nature of your Synchronizer, or even a Pokémon with Cute Charm if you are looking for a certain gender. In fact, it will give you a 66.7% probability of finding the opposite gender of your Cute Charmer. And always keep in mind that if you are chaining for an electric Pokémon, you can use the static ability, or if you are looking for a steel Pokémon, you can use Magnet Pull, and these 2 abilities will help you to increase the probability of finding a steel or electric type of Pokémon. And for all these 4 methods, you have to put these Pokémon in the first spot of your team, if not it won't work. If you want a certain nature, make sure to have some spots in the team that will be filled by the shiny you have caught, because if you start hunting for a shiny with a certain nature with a full team, you won't be able to know the nature of the shiny you have caught until you go and check it in the Pokémon Center. So always keep at least 2 or 3 spots in the team. Also, I recommend a lot to study your target before starting the chain, but in general before starting an hunt. If you are hunting in an area in which there are Pokémons like Graveler that knows the move Self-Destruct or Explosion, I strongly recommend you to always bring a Pokémon with the Dump ability that will counter these type of moves. And I suggest because even if you are not hunting for this Pokémon, you can still find it as a full odds one, so as a 1 in 8, 1 in 2. You really don't want to fail it. So always make sure to have a Pokemon with the dump ability in your team. And also, if you are hunting in an area with the weather conditions, for example the sandstorm, you have to be very careful because it can KO your shiny Pokemon. Also, you better bring a Pokemon with a lot of PPs, because you are going to encounter 40 Pokemons that you will have to defeat or even catch, but defeating is just better because it's a plus in terms of XPs, doesn't waste any of your monies, and it's also quicker. And obviously bring a lot of Pokeballs with you, and would also be ready to have a Pokemon that helps the catch. In my case, I always have a Smeargle when I'm mounting, and I always have a Master Ball with me as a backup plan, so I strongly recommend it to you. A random encounter that is not caused by radar, so you have to make sure that your repel is always on. Soft resetting or turning off the device, so don't save in front of a shiny patch, it won't break your chain but it's just useless. Encountering a different Pokemon from the one you were chaining. Using the bike, going into a different type of patch, obviously except from the shiny patch. Leaving the area, using roar or everything that ends the battle without a catch or a KO of the chained Pokemon. Is extreme rare, but you can go into a patch and just nothing appears and your chain will be broken. Now, a huge tip I want to give you is that when you are moving from the patch in which you were sit before, you have better never walking in the patch right behind your sprite, because it isn't easy to see if it shakes, because it is covered from the hat of the sprite, but if it's shaked, it's a very risky patch to join, so always go to the patch in the right, left, or to the one in front of your sprite. Also, just save before starting a chain hunt, because if you keep not getting your target or if your chain breaks in the middle, you are just wasting monies and repels. So just soft reset if you are not getting what you want or if it breaks. Also, not to waste time, I suggest you to turn off the battle animations. Now I'll show you a picture with all the patches, and all the colors that you are going to see are based on the safeness of the patch. As you can see in the picture, there are some marked patches, and the safeness of a patch is always based on the position of your sprite when they shake. Keep also in mind that a patch starts to be safe if it is at least 4 steps away from you and it isn't on the edge. As you have probably realized, the red zones are super risky, the orange zones are risky, and the yellow ones are also risky but less than the others. And to be safe, you always have to run into the blue zones. But I repeat, the safeness depends on the position of the sprite in the moment that the patches shake. A patch that is always safe doesn't exist. Every patch can break your chain. By always choosing the safest one, you are just trying to minimize the probability of breaking it. But in every patch, there is a little percentage to break the chain. Another important thing is that when you defeat or catch a Pokemon in a chain, the chain will continue by itself. But if the patches that shake aren't safe, just run around until you have charged the radar and try again until a safe one shakes. Don't be greedy. A very important thing that is not known by everyone is that a chain is not ended if you find the shiny patch. It goes on. So if you want more of the same target, or for example if the shiny you have found isn't the gender or the nature you wanted, after you have obtained the first shiny in a chain of 40, you just have to continue refreshing the radar until you find another shiny patch. You can find any number of that shiny until the chain breaks. Or you can just choose to leave the place and to go away after having found the first shiny, but the chain will be broken. And if you wanted another of that target, you'll have to do all the 40 encounters again. If you are a beginner Poké Radar hunter, I suggest you to start doing practice in Road 202 or even in Valley Windworks, because these places got few Pokémons and because these areas are just a good size for chaining. I also suggest you not to use the analog stick if you are playing from a 3DS, because it's a little inaccurate in the movement and you don't want to risk to join the wrong patch. And also, if you have a platinum version, I strongly recommend you to do some practice on it before maybe doing it on Diamond and Pearl, because in that version the graphics are different, because Platinum came up after Diamond and Pearl. But now let's jump in the chain. I'm gonna speed up the video because if not it would probably be too long, but you only have to know that I'm going to hunt for some Smeargles. I said some because I'm gonna hunt for 3 of them. So yeah, see ya when we find some Smeargles. Alright, let's go. This was not that long, but even not quick. Here it is, the first shiny Smeargle. Alright, that looks so good. I'm just going to use her recover and then switch into my Smeargle and try to catch it. Alright, after this one I'm going to hunt for other Smeargles, because I need at least 3. Alright. Nice, first ball. Obviously, no cheating device. I'm gonna nickname it later, and just let me check the nature, because I was hoping for a jolly Smeargle, and it's timid. Alright, hoping that the others would be jolly.
2,000 years later.
Heck yes! My goodness, this took quite a long time. Here finally it is, the second shiny Smeargle, and I'm gonna do the same thing I've done for the last one. I cannot switch out for the very first thing my Alakazam, because if not he is gonna fail his only move and he's gonna struggle right away. So yeah, now I can switch out into a Smeargle. Oh yes, this Smeargle took about half an hour only itself. Yeah, I'm gonna go for a luxury ball this time. I want to catch all of the 3 Smeargles in different balls, and the only one that I have before the one I already catch in this chain was in a premier ball, so now I'm gonna go for a luxury ball and then for an ultra ball. I don't really want to use full swipe because it knows recover, so now let's try. And of course he woke up, she woke up. Alright. I'm gonna nickname all of them later on. Let's see if it's Jolly Smeargle. I hope to. Yes, let's go. So we are now going to look for the third one, and then I'll end up the video. Yes! Oh, the third shiny patch already. Let's go! Nice. And here it is, the third shiny Smeargle of the chain. Now, let's catch it. Alright. Let's see the nature. I'm gonna nickname all of them later on. So, alright, it's I think adamant nature, yeah, that's adamant, that's good. Alright guys, the video is over. I really hope it has been helpful to you. If so, let me know it in the comment. Thank you guys for watching, and see you in the next video.